Good evening, everybody. Welcome to I cannot believe it's April 6th. It's flying by. To tonight's Board of Ed meeting. Justin, can you please take attendance?
Sure. Joe Abdella,
Here.
Vicky Salon,
Here.
Stephanie Kolnick,
Here.
Jesse Liebman,
Here.
Angela Maciurulo,
Here.
Alex McNaughton,
Here.
Justin Ongley here, Jen Pody,
Here.
Jane Sargent,
We know, we heard her.
Yeah. Pete Tagley, Mary Weber, and Christine Weidig.
Okay, thank you. Next up is public comment on agenda items only. Is there anybody here or on Zoom that is here to speak about agenda items? Ben is shaking his head no. Okay. Thank you. Moving on to the consent agenda. We have two different consent agendas. We have the district budget hearing for the 23rd and also the Board of Education meeting on the 23rd. Is there anything on either of the minutes that doesn't look right? Mary? Did you just say, hang on, you need your mic?
I know. I can't remember which one it was on, but
Well,
it
can you
said that
look,
we
just to
met.
make sure that we know what which one we're looking at.
I don't have it with me.
Okay, well,
It's we made a motion to. You asked for a motion to approve the minute, approve the budget. And and then it said, I seconded it. They don't have anybody that firsted it. That made the motion. It only says, it's A after that.
Was there on the, which minutes was that the end?
I believe that's probably on the
B.
B.
Probably B. It's where you,
It says Alex made a motion and Joe seconded it. Angela, no, it's Angela made a motion and Mary seconded.
oh, okay. I don't have that on mine. I looked
Yeah.
twice. Okay.
So that looks
I
good.
thought it was Angela and I was gonna say, I thought it was Angela.
And it
Okay.
says, and then on the other one, yeah, and then you made a motion to adjourn and Stephanie
It was
seconded.
on the
Okay.
budget.
Okay. Yeah, I think it looks good. Yeah, but thank you, Mary. Alex, do you see anything?
I did not. I
Wow.
make a motion to accept with the minutes.
I think we don't need a motion if everything looks good.
Oh, okay.
Only if things don't look okay, then we can. So I think we're all right. But thank you. Moving on now to the presentation of our agri-science program and recruitment update. So hello, Tyler, welcome. I'm sorry, Mr. Crimmins. I was going to do that during the board report, but if we, do you have to do something? No, I had spoken to them about doing it at the, yeah. Okay, thanks. That's okay.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you sure?
All right, guys. Good evening. Nice to see you all.
Hi.
So this is my update for this year on recruiting and just some other things that have been happening. So nice. Is this okay?
Can you turn that down?
Some of the accomplishments that we've achieved this year as a department, the instruction that you guys could see on a daily basis with our current staff, again, is just really, really good. Kids like our teachers, and because of that, they learn from them. Our teachers care a whole lot too about the preparation and assessment that goes into their daily work. And because of that, we're seeing low attrition. That's always something that we're trying to limit if we can. And we're seeing more participation in the FFA. That's probably been one of the most significant changes. And also higher quality SAE projects. So as far as the 3-circle model of agricultural education, we're seeing improvements in each of those areas. Our FFA chapter, we did discuss this in the fall, but we had 3 nationals teams competing. We had our highest student individually placed so far, and that was a 9th individually placed in food science. So that is about 200 students compete in that contest. So this kid got 9th. Something else that we started this year is called FFA committees. So basically, this was a result of having too much interest in our FFA officer team. So rather than turning away students who had a desire to be involved in the program and help the chapter, Megan and Megan decided to come up with this idea of FFA committees. And basically what that is there's community service committee, there's facilities committee, there's different committees that help in different areas of our programs. And these students, because they have a vested interest in helping, have actually taken an independent role in running these committees and coming back to us with hard feedback on things that we can do to improve the program. They even present these ideas at the FFA meetings. And it's just our way of including more students in a leadership role in the program, which has been really, really helpful. Just this week, we received a skid steer, which is going to be really, really helpful for us as far as just moving material, grading the horse paddock, moving logs to the sawmill area. It is a really, really nice piece of equipment for our program, and we can also use it in the tractor driving contests. We've expanded our community partnerships. So upcoming, we've got a little project that we're doing with the Bridgewater Land Trust. We're building bluebird boxes for them, and the kids are going to go there and install them, and it'll be a fun day. The veterinary science students have been working with the Roxbury Vet Clinic. If you guys have seen that beautiful building down there in Roxbury that they just put up, that's a very exciting partnership that Megan has worked hard to foster. The town of Washington, they just cleared a bunch of trees along the road there down in the Washington Depot. So Jim Britton, good old Jim Britton, was able to get those logs donated to our program that we're going to mill those, and that'll be the wood that we use to build the bird boxes for the land trust. It's really just good to see all these different people in our community working together. And our counseling department, in conjunction with our FFA alumni committee, recently put on an SAE job fair here at the school. That included probably about 18 employers, all in the agricultural related fields out in the mall. Every student in the ag program visited all the employers and talked to them. Some left with jobs, many left with good conversations at least. It was beneficial for many of our students. And they also had panelists here in different rooms. The counseling department knocked this out of the park. And each panel had professionals from animal science, professionals from engineering, and did a live Q&A with our students. And that was the entire school. It was a sign-up basis, so anybody who was interested in attending could attend. So that was an event that benefited all of Chippewa. Our fall expo, based on feedback from you guys, from the board subcommittee, from community, we actually expanded that event in the fall to include more than just the Equine Expo. So we had something for everybody is how we kind of advertised it. So we did the barbecue chicken lunch, which actually we sold out of like 60 meals. We did a floral arranging class. We grew mums and sold the mums. We had a petting zoo. We did hay rides. Every one of our teachers was here running something, and it was really well attended. Our bazaar keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. You guys are great with the collecting of the welded projects, and we thank you guys for being loyal customers in that aspect. But we did well with the bazaar, and we sold dog treats this year, and they like sold out in like 20 minutes, and I was very surprised by that. And we're always looking to add something, but we had a fun evening at the bazaar this year. The new evaporator has finally been completed. It's been a pretty involved project up to this point, and we still have a little bit more work to do to get the machine actually running fully. This syrup that is in front of you was actually produced in our old machine from last year. And Jesse actually donated a bunch of sap collection equipment to our program this year, which we were able to use. So thank you for that, Jesse. And you also commented on the clarity of the syrup. We got a filter press, and that thing makes all the difference. It is a really, really awesome piece of equipment. So next year we've got the filter press. We just purchased a finishing pan for all of this syrup so we can finish it all in one batch. We got the new machine. So next year is going to, we did actually make like just over 5 gallons of syrup this year. So it was still a really good year. But next year will be even better. But that's an exciting thing, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And I hope the weather's good next year. And we expanded our tractor repair unit. So Mr. Belinsky in the past, he's brought his own machines in for the kids to work on. This year, the students actually were able to get their own equipment and bring it here. So it's good to see the kids taking ownership of their own learning, bringing equipment here. And he is next to them every step of the way. They fix their equipment and they drive it home, or they trailer it home. This is just a couple of random pictures that I picked throughout the seasons. The top left is the Fall Expo. I picked this picture. This was the pumpkin carving. A lot of little kids. There was a lot of little kids here that day, which was a lot of fun. Ag Day at the Capitol just happened recently. Ben actually did a nice write-up of that event where we met legislators from the state, the governor, the commissioner of agriculture. I think Hayden, who was sitting over there, actually attended. Or that you went last year, or did you go this year? Okay, you went this year. Great. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Dan Baxter and Hayden were interviewed by Fox 61 News that day too. A picture from the bazaar. The booth was just lights out, no pun intended. It was a really nice display that the kids came up with, and they made these wool ornaments that I'm remembering now as I look at this picture. The bottom left is a picture from Nationals. Really, in one of those students was the student who placed 9th individually in the whole country. I wanted to highlight our animal science program that is continuing to just have really, really high levels of student interest, and just the utilization of our facilities is continuing to happen. And then I just had a cool picture of a student running the oxyacetylene in the shop, just to sort of, we're doing a whole lot of different stuff. Okay, so I think maybe the most significant thing for the presentation tonight, the recruitment update. So just some numbers for you all. Our applications this year actually went down. So we've got 88 this year compared to 107 last year and 111. Now, before anyone is concerned about that, what I'm realizing throughout the process is that most of these applicants of the 88 know what ag is now. So I think, and Sylvia and Mike have come with me to all the interviews this year between them, but we've admitted 55 incoming 8th graders, and up to that 55th kid was pretty strong demonstrated interest compared to the past where the 50th, 51st, 52nd, it was sort of like, does this student even know what ag is? Do they want to come here? Now I'm realizing that throughout this process, the cultures that are being built at these different schools, kids are understanding more about what ag is. And I think part of that is obviously they're doing good work in their buildings, but I've done the presentation for 4 years now, and it's a similar presentation, but I see the same faculty each year. So I think once I leave, they're all collectively reinforcing these things that I say, that just about what we do here. Cows and tractors and welding isn't for every kid, and that's okay. We want the kids that want to do that, and we're getting them. I think, like I said, even up to this very last student that was admitted, we have a really strong interested class of students coming here, and those are the kids that we need to stay here, and they need to like it. So we're going to be okay. We did admit one rising junior. So this student was she moved here from Florida and had like some veterinary science work in her transcript, and she actually audited a seat in the horse training class this year as a non-ag student. It was a natural fit. She's a good fit for the program. Moved here as a sophomore, so that is why this says 56 and not 55. Those attrition numbers, the 4, that is from this current school year for last year's freshmen. So we have had 4 students exit so far. Somebody asked me the most common reasons for that. I would say the first one is kind of generic, and that is it's just not for me. They say to me, or I have a different career interest is sort of the first reason. And the second reason, which is very common for our out of district students, is the bus ride is too long. And that's just a thing we're gonna have to deal with, but those kids from Bethel and Danbury have an hour ride. I just did an exit interview today for a young lady from Danbury, and her mother, she said, my mom's making me because she doesn't want to pick me up. So, but that's just the reality. And we're not seeing kids leave because of the program itself. Generally, it's just not for them, or the bus ride's too long, or and that's all. It's all normal too. We've planned for 5 students a year to exit. That's kind of like what we know to expect. Any questions on this slide? Or do I take questions now or at the end?
You can keep going unless someone has a question.
Yeah.
So if you had attrition of 4 students and it looks like, okay. I sort of see some equilibrium over the last few years between, like, let's call it 55-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a sweet spot? Like, is there a number that you're aiming for?
Yeah. And this is obviously a number that we can all work together as a district to determine, but we're sort of planning on that 55 a year. So the last 3 years, that is what we've strived for, anticipating the 5 students will leave, which would leave us with 50 interested, committed students per grade level. Eventually that would leave us with a total in the program of 200 kids. That is, I think, an ideal size for what we've got here facilities wise. But it's just a matter of keeping them here, so I think our sophomore class and freshman class right now are, actually, do I have that here? Maybe I have that on the next slide, but that is our goal. We want to, obviously this affects math, English, all the other curriculum areas too in our building. So we want to be cognizant of that and work with counseling and work with central office and do this together. But that 50 per grade level is really, I think, a number that works for our program. Go ahead, Ben. Oh, good. So our current enrollment this year is 161 kids in the program. That is with the attrition that even as of today. Next year that it's going to bump up by 17. So we'll have 178. I want to say the year after that is our junior class. Our junior class now is in the 40s, I want to say. So it won't bump up a whole lot. But it will bump up a little bit the following year too. But so 178 is what we're looking at for next year. And just kind of some closing goals that
Great,
we've got.
Tyler, just
Yeah.
one more question. So if next year you're at 178 and you think sort of the sweet spot is 200 to maximize use of the facilities, and obviously we get revenue from that, is there a plan for attracting or retaining additional students to get closer to that 200, whether it's in the immediate term or medium term?
I don't think we'll hit the 200 for 3. So like not next year. I'm not even sure the following year, but the following year, I think we would. I think it's going to take about 3 years to get there. But with the high quality instruction that I'm seeing and the just the work that this current staff is putting into the program, I think we're going to see the attrition really level off and see much less of it. And with the recruiting and just being clear on, I forgot to mention that one thing that we did, and Sylvia and Mike helped me with this, is we changed all the interview questions and we're very clear. One of the questions was long, and I asked it 88 times. We have this thing in our program called SAE. It stands for Supervised Agricultural Experience. It's this: you work at a volunteer, your paid job, like a paragraph of what it is. Would you have access to an SAE outside of school, and what would it be? So we asked every single student that, said it was a requirement of the program. We're very, very clear about the expectations, the extra work, which again does eliminate some applicants. Once they hear that, they're like, I'm good. I don't want extra things. But the ones that apply they know that that's a requirement. They're willing to do it. So that is also helpful in getting applicants who know the expectations.
Tyler,
Yeah.
at what point would you think that in numbers would we have to add another teacher?
Yeah. So the statute is 35 students per faculty member should. So that would be 210 students. So I would hope that when we hit the 200, we would be able to support another full-time ag teacher. My hope is that it would be a full-time plant science, natural resources person to run that facility back there. And then I would fill in wherever needed as far as FTEs go. This elective, that elective, 8th grade, 7th grade, freshman, plant, it doesn't matter. I can teach whatever. But once we get close to that 210, that would at least be a reason to talk about it. Yeah.
We've talked about this in the past because it does have an impact a little bit each year, how many students we have that are in the program from Chippewa or from our sending towns on, how we fill out some of our gen ed classes like math and English.
Mhm.
Do you have like just a broad or kind of general idea percentage wise, like each year? Is there a number that we're also trying to reach there? Do we cap it at like Chippewa students or Region 12 students, or is that number just kind of evolving each year?
You're asking if there's a number of students who.
Like, do we take like 20% Region 12?
Oh, no.
20%? Like what is that
Yeah,
number look like?
I understand. So basically, we score the applicants on the 8 categories that are in the application: interview, demonstrated interest, academics, behavior, standardized test scores. We made a category called answer to SAE. I'm forgetting 2 of them off the top of my head, but there's 8 categories. We have a criteria attendance. That was another highly weighted category. But then we made descriptors for each category. So 1 to 3 absences is 5 points. 4 to 7 absences is 4 points, etc. So it takes the guesswork out of it. So let me bring it back around for you. Once we do that for all 88 students, all we do is rank them highest scoring, and we just take the top 55 kids. So we can even put your hand over the town. With the exception of New Milford, we do have to count those kids and just make sure that we're, being good partners with them as far as their district plans go. But
Are they our only or sending town that has a cap?
Yep. Or-
For this year, do you know the breakdown of how many Region 12 students? were
Yeah,
accepted?
10 applied and 9 were accepted. So I'm happy with that. A few years ago we had 32 apply. So it's we don't want to turn anybody away, you know. So I think 10 is a really good number from any town. If they have 10 kids apply, that's great. Some of our towns were down, some of our towns were up. Brookfield was a relevant example of a town that was up a lot. They went from 9 last year to 17 applications this year, so they were up quite a bit. Everyone else is Danbury was down a little bit from talking with counseling. I guess they have a new building over there, the West School or Western, something of that nature. It's a technical sort of school with welding, and I don't know much about it, but it seems pretty cool. The counselors did tell me that some of their students were going there. Abbott Tech is another, you know, it's popular and they do a good job there. And I did watch Abbott Tech's recruiting presentation this year and try to steal some inspiration for next year. One thing they did was they brought students with them, which I've done too, but their students have note cards and they sort of read to the audience, which to me feels less authentic, but hey, works for them. But I'm always trying to improve. You know, the only really thing that we changed about the recruiting process was our open house. So rather than the 8th grade open house for ag, we did the entire Chippewa 8th grade open house. So we had all the department heads here, the ag facility running, horses going, welders going. It was a prospective student and agri-science student night. So any student interested in Chippewa was welcome to attend that night. That was the major change that we did this year. And I think my presentation was better than last year, to be honest with you, but I'm happy with the kids we got. Yeah.
Sorry. Also, Henry Abbott Tech brought T-shirts. You didn't.
Yeah. All right. Hey, T-shirts.
Just
we
saying.
can do that.
I heard it from the 8th graders.
Yeah.
So, and the new high school did bring a lot of interest
Yeah.
at the new academy.
Mhm.
And they did a lot of hoopla in Danbury about it. So a lot of kids did want to attend there.
Yeah.
As opposed to here. So, so that's why the numbers were a little bit lower, but not that much.
Yeah.
I do recall last year, there was a lot of talk, a lot of question about our plant science, department, and a lot of questions about, when are we going to get that going? When are we going to get an FTE in there to really get our plant science department going?
Yeah.
And and now I just heard you say that, we probably won't reach that 200 for another 3 years. And then that's when, once we get to 210, we'll, probably get another FTE. And so are you saying that the plant science department is not going to be up and running full force for another 3 years, or because
No,
we don't
definitely
have
not.
an FTE in there for plant science?
No,
Okay.
I'm not saying that. I teach in there. I teach 2 classes. And I don't like to toot my own horn, but I do a good job. I believe. I think I do a good job over there, and just kids are excited, and they do know that there's only 2 upper class courses that they can take, though, compared to other classes. There's I don't know. I don't really know the reasoning, but I'm not worried about the plant science facility is running. We're having a lot of fun and doing some good learning over there. And as far as the next couple of years, we'll navigate that. The floral shop is, you guys can see the floral arrangement of the month that's going well. The sugar house, again, this was a good year for us. We got honeybees out there that made it through the winter. So we're doing good stuff out there. I'm not worried about it. To me, it just makes sense to do that. So,
By the way, Mary posted on social media the Easter arrangement. Absolutely stunning.
yeah, it was killer.
Absolutely stunning. It was gorgeous. Had I known, I would have purchased one. I said, I'm in for next year.
Yeah.
So
No,
forget the bunny things you're going to be selling in May, but I'm going to get the arrangements for next year. Absolutely stunning. Good
yeah,
job.
no, they do a good job over
Yeah.
there.
Many people commented on that flower
Yeah.
arrangement, I have to say. So next year, buy up.
Thanks, Mary. Good advertisement.
Just to build on the point that Tyler made and that great question from you, Vicky, because I also remember, a really engaged discussion about those things. A lot of interested stakeholders, and they're probably still out there, wondering how this will go. And the two qualifiers that I would want to add is we're also thoughtful when we talk about growth in agri-science, which is a wonderful goal to maximize opportunities for those folks coming in. We also have to be mindful of the resources we have on the Chippewa side and have to be judicious about that, because when you have a new ag student here, they also have to take science and math and English. And so that's part of the big systems thinking level plan about how we set our growth rate. And then we did listen to the folks who said, but plant science is the paramount thing in this state. And we've got Tyler, who's the best plant science guy in the state, teaching more plant science now than he was when this conversation at the inception of the conversation. So those are things that I think might, when folks think back and think about that in the big picture from the view from 30,000 feet, might make them feel a little better about it.
Yeah, and one other thing that I think helped me in the past was I was able to teach freshmen, and just because of how course signups work and just demand, I haven't been able to teach freshmen at Chippewa yet. So that was my way of sort of getting to know them the first day of school, where now they just kind of know me from the interview. They know me from the halls. They know that they're interested in plants. I'll take this class with this guy, but they don't really know me. But in the past, when I've had freshman classes, I've really been able to funnel them into that class better. I think if we're able to do that, if we can get me in the freshman class next year, I think I can get more kids in the plant science class. But my sophomores are taking it junior, senior year. So, all right, where were we? I know UConn's on the night too. So I'm trying to, this is fun though. I like this.
Don't worry, I'm watching.
You're going to stream it right there. Yeah.
Don't worry, you can't see it on any of the major TV stations in Connecticut.
All right, we're
I
gonna
know.
figure it out. Anyway, you're good. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're making good time.
My slides are good. Yeah. I think I was still going on this. Oh yeah. So we've done a lot of work with the curriculum actually. Megan and Megan have designed these workbooks, and it's something that I've never seen at another school, but it is basically there's several classes that they've done. I think the main ones are freshman animal science, and then it's broken down like day 1, day 2, here's the lab. Like, so anybody could take this, I can hand it to them, and tomorrow they could teach these classes. Our goal as a department is to do that for every course. That's going to take some time, but that has been a huge thing that I've seen, like, wow, that's really useful for our program. And obviously we want to continue to improve everything that we do instructionally, including SE capstone, and continue to expand our ECE course offerings, which are pretty popular, I've seen this year. Using the facilities, we're doing a really good job of that. That the electives that we've developed with Carrie have really allowed us to do that, getting kids into these specialized forestry, floral design, dog grooming for a semester allows us to keep these spaces all full. We have a young department, and we'll be getting another young person, I think, next year too. So we want to just continue to be apprised of all of the PD opportunities that are available to them and us. And I want to keep getting the best quality kids for the program. Industry connections is something that we will never run out of, and we will always need. Danbury and Bethel are two of our areas where we have gotten a few from there this year, but surprisingly for how large Danbury is, there's not a whole lot of ag, at least industries who hire our students. So that is a challenge. This summer, I actually drove to businesses, Dom's Garden Center, a couple floral shops right down there, and handed them SAE pamphlets, and nobody called me. But I think I went to 7 or 8 different places trying to get that done. But we'll continue to try to do that as well. We have a student who is going to graduate with her veterinary technician certificate for her SAE capstone, which is great. And I know that Megan has worked with a few other kids doing online modules to help those students achieve that goal. We do the ServSafe certification. We would like to add the forklift and OSHA certification, as well as the pesticide applicator certification, which is just an online exam, but it is a tough one. This is a daily thing, maintaining our facility. We have a lot of stuff here. A lot of it is very, very beautiful. And we coordinate and work together to do this. And central office has been really helpful with this, our weekend and weekday operations people that come here and work and assist, because it is a lot, especially with 6, 7 horses up in the facility every day. And it's a lot of stuff, but we're getting it done. And then just to have a lens of continuous improvement is the goal. You know, there's always stuff that we can improve, and we'll see it together. And this department knows what is good and bad too. So there's 5 of us here that are trying to always improve. So it's really, really a good team we've got. I'm sorry, Angela, I think I took too long, but is there any questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Probably should be for later, but I was afraid that you wouldn't be here. How many people do we have going to the FFA convention? 20?
I want to say it's sign it out for me. 40 people.
40 kids, and then how many chaperones?
40 kids and 4 chaperones, I think.
How many buses does that require?
Just one. Just one.
Oh,
I'm getting my
'cause I
signals from the
remember in
stage crew.
past, I think that we shared a bus with somebody else,
Mhm.
but we're filling the bus up ourselves.
Yep. Last year, I think, was actually the second year that we've gone ourselves. 3 years ago, we did join with another school just because the cost worked out better for us that way.
Yeah.
But then the last 2 years, we've been able to fill the charter bus and with all of our own kids. So,
Okay, great. That was
Yeah.
my question.
and that event has also grown each year because of her,
Yeah.
really. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
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 No, that's great.
Anything else?
Can you tell me what are the 2 plant science classes that you're teaching right now?
Plant Science 10, Plant Science 11 and 12, just the core classes. And last semester I taught landscaping,
Uh-huh.
and just we serviced the mowers and just did some land maintenance, and just as a way to get those machines running,
Yeah.
as one of those useful elective classes.
Yeah.
And then next year we're offering we changed from landscaping, I think, to maybe aquaponics or something like that. And then it really depends on the request too. If 20 kids want to Plant Science 10, we'll teach that 2 semesters.
So when I throw out ideas, you can roll your eyes at me 100% because I'm really great at the ideas.
I won't do that.
Oh,
But
you can. No, you 100% can. But because I did not know about the floral arrangements, because I have not been on. I didn't see your story or whatever on Facebook, but I for your students, because obviously the weekends are hard not for you, and certainly not for you, but for your students, if they were ever to sell at the Roxbury Market, if they had like 10 or 15 to sell at the Roxbury Market, the Bridgewater store, and out in front of the Washington Market on the weekend, it would be a great way for a couple of reasons. One, to get their branding, right?
Yeah.
Just to get their face out there, for showing people what they do outside of school. I think it's a great opportunity for people to get to know who they are, and what you are all doing up here would be a great opportunity to then
Yeah.
pull them up here.
That's not an eye rollable idea at all.
Well, because I just know that you all you work so hard on during the week. I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want you guys to work the weekend. So that's not
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
implying.
Mhm.
But I just think it would be a great opportunity for the community to see what you're doing outside of school.
yes.
And I would even be happy to stand at the table and help, so you guys don't have to do it, or any of us would do that, because I think that would be
thanks.
just really a wonderful opportunity to do that, because I think that it's really hard to get community up here sometimes. Just the average or non-average Joes that live in our community, so to speak, to see what you guys do. So I just think that would be really wonderful. And it could be anything, right? It could be your beautiful floor arrangements for spring, but it could also be anything that you guys are doing. The Christmas stuff or any of that. But I just think that if there's something that you guys are really doing, and it doesn't have to be all of your stuff, but if you just thought like did 20 stuff and then it's sold out, it feels really good too that you're selling it out and you're done early and you go home and you're like, and then people kind of want you leave them wanting more, which always feels good too.
Yeah.
Because it's just an opportunity to just market and brand what you guys are doing up here.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. I think that just makes me think we're doing an event, the Garden Palooza this year for the first time. That's
Yeah.
the week after the plant sale.
Mhm.
And we're gonna have flower arrangements at the plant sale. So maybe we can, if we have extras, we didn't last year, but if we do, I can bring them down
Or
to the
just
Garden
save a few,
Palooza.
like, and
Yeah,
just say, just maybe plan it.
Yeah,
where you
that's
just
a good idea.
just put a few aside and just bring them down and talk to the people at the markets and just say, hey, can we
Yeah.
come down for a few hours? I just think it's a great opportunity to connect to the community.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. Any other
All right.
questions? And I just want to thank you, Tyler, and you, Megan, too, and all of your staff, because I know how hard you guys work and you
Yes.
do an amazing job with the students.
Of course.
And so thank you.
Thank you guys for always having our
you.
back and helping us too. Jesse,
And
thanks
thank
again
you
for the
for
syrup
our-
equipment.
Sarah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, awesome. Great. Moving on to board chair's report. I'm gonna defer because we're really lucky to have Lexi Thomas here. So I'm gonna use all of my board chair reports from here on for the rest of the year for any senior that comes. So I spoke about Lexi Thomas, who does the Spartan Times. She's going to be coming up here to talk about her senior project, and we're really happy to have you. And she waited to come here. And did you win?
We did not.
I'm sorry.
That was okay. Good try.
Who'd you win? Who'd you play? I mean,
New Milford.
oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. My latest edition in February,
Good.
or from February.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago. First of all, thank you for inviting me to present my project and share everything that I've been doing. It's something I'm very passionate about and have worked very hard on this year. My name is Lexi Thomas, and I'm a senior here at Chippewa. And for my senior project, I've taken over the Spartan Times, which is the school newspaper. So it started as a love for telling and writing stories all throughout my childhood, has grown to something like much bigger in my life. I'm actually planning to major in communications, I think at UConn next year.
Yes.
So I have not only always looked up to my brother Peyton, who started the Spartan Times last year, but again, I've always loved writing. So taking this over as my senior project felt natural for me. It's a project that's always keeping me busy, whether I'm interviewing a community member, sending out emails, or writing my own articles or editing other students' articles. I'm never bored with my project. So in the beginning of the year, I created an essential question, which was, how can a student-led newspaper inform, engage, and empower a school community through ethical, creative, and inclusive journalism? So I created this with my senior project teacher, Mr. Stinson, early on in the year, and then just to guide me. And then from there, I kind of just did my thing and took off. I chose this project because I wanted to empower student voices. Again, I've always loved writing. I wanted to connect with my community, which is a huge part of senior project. I wanted to collaborate and bring students together from many grades throughout the school. I work with sixth graders who have given me Netflix show reviews, but I've also worked with Mr. Dave Workhoven this past week, interviewing him about the Chippewa past and history in Washington High School, which will be a feature in my next newspaper. And I just wanted to be a leader in my community. I've always loved working with other people, so again, this felt natural to me. Some things I've learned so far this year are journalism basics. This started off in semester 1 when I took a virtual high school VHS class called journalism. I did this all online, all by myself, and it was very independent, and I just learned many basics from there. I have also learned the difference between digital versus print journalism. As you can see, I print copies. I work with Miss Livingston in the front office, and then I've worked with Miss Lamont, one of the librarian staff, to link all of the copies of Spartan Times that I've produced so far in chronological order on the Chapag Library website, so anyone can access them at any time, and so that I can just keep track of them throughout the year. And yeah. I've learned the importance of responsibility and how to write ethical journalism, and then also professionalism, and how to be taken seriously as a student and a young kid. And I think the most important thing I've learned this year is how to talk to people and put myself out there. The way I distribute each copy is hand delivering to stores and places in my community. I literally just walk into stores and say, introduce myself and my project, and I say, is it okay if I can leave a few copies on your table? Some of these places include the Poe, Marty's, Hickorystick Bookshop, the Washington Market, the Roxbury Market, the Bridgewater Bistro. So yeah, I've been to many places, and then I keep returning, and that just connects me directly with my community. It shows my face to people, gets my name out there, my project and Chapag and what we're doing there. And then obviously people take it from there, from many towns, and see what we've been up to at Chapag. Some skills I'm still working on, and I'll continue to work on throughout the year, is how to manage my time efficiently. With the newspaper, there's many deadlines, so I have to keep myself as well as other students on track. So I have learned to follow up with people and make sure they really get stuff to me. How to use feedback effectively. This is something hard for me, but I'm still working on it. How to problem solve on the fly, and then how to make big decisions and feel confident in them as I'm publishing my work to my community. So far, I've published 3 editions. I'm currently working on my 4th, and I will publish that this month, April, and then one more right before I graduate, and that'll be it.
Great. Wonderful.
That's all.
Does anybody have any questions for Alexi? Yes, Jeff.
Do you have a successor for this project?
So I'm currently working on getting Luca Inglese to take over my project next year. He was very good friends with Peyton, and he's very into the roll pog thing. So I'm hoping that'll give him some motivation to really like stick with it next year. But I have a few other people in mind. If Luca doesn't want to take it, I will reach out to other juniors, but obviously I have to do that pretty sure by the end of this month, just so I can like 100% hand it off. But one of my biggest like selling points is I'm giving you a senior project. I mean, taking this from my brother Peyton, he gave me an outline of what to do, but he kind of left me hanging. In the beginning of the year, I bought my own MacBook with my own money because the Chromebooks don't support an app called Adobe InDesign. That's where I create the entire layout and put everything together. So from there, I was like, okay, Peyton, like maybe we'll FaceTime or maybe you'll come home, because he's in New Haven, so it's not that far away. And with baseball and school, it just didn't work out, and we couldn't create a time to work together. So I just had to figure it out all on my own. So I feel like this was probably a better thing because I learned to be more independent from the start. But I don't know, I made a plan in the beginning of the year. My senior project proposal was due, I'd say beginning of November, and I had to make a timeline of like everything in my project, and I chose to publish bi-monthly, and that really gave me like a set timeline and goals. And I feel like it's not that hard of a senior project, but it can be seen as like a handoff, but I don't know, I've leveled it up so much compared to my brother last year that I feel like I've told him that. I've made it way more organized. I create templates for my writers. I reach out to them. I meet in person if they want to. I do one-on-one editing with them. I brainstorm ideas with them. I hold a club meetings. I do a lot. And so I feel like I have created a plan for someone else to take this on. So I mean, the end of September, I was already planning or writing articles for my first edition while my classmates, some of my classmates didn't even know what their senior project wanted to be yet. So I feel like someone may want to take this over. So not yet, but I'm working on it.
That's great.
You've done a great job with it. And I think if you handpick the right person,
Mhm.
it should be a pretty smooth transition.
Thank you.
But you've done an excellent job with it, and I hope it continues to look the same.
Mhm.
And good luck.
Thank you.
You did a wonderful job. Anybody else have any other questions? Christine?
Alexi, you're a great writer. What I did notice in the paper is you write a lot of the articles.
Mhm.
How have you found the task of attracting writers from the school to also participate in the paper? Do you think that there's a lot of interest? Did you have to really kind of sell it? I'm just curious how that worked out.
So that's actually something I've struggled with this year. I wrote a lot of articles in the first edition, which is what you guys are looking at right now. From there, everyone saw my first edition, and I remember walking past Ben Chirk in the mall, and he's like, "Wow, this is actually a lot of work." And I was like, "Yeah, it's my senior project." And from there, that kind of got my project out there and my name out there, and people just naturally came to me and asked, like, "Hey, I'm an ag student. Can I write an article for ag?" And I was like, "Sure, that's awesome." And then I worked with them. I have taken over the newspaper club. It's very small, but that has gotten some people as well. And then, I mean, I'm a senior, so like if I approach you, it's probably scary. So, but I have lots of friends who are willing to write articles for me. So I tend to go to like my friends who I think would be willing to write for me. And whether I work with them or they write the article independently, I just reach out and say, "Hey, would you want to write an article about your sports team or this club you're doing or something you're interested in?" So it's been a struggle for me, and I'm still working on getting a bigger writing team, but I've found my ways around it. So yeah.
Great work, really.
Thank you.
Alexi,
Hi.
how do you get your ideas for stories? Do kids approach you and say, "Hey, you should go to this event, or you should talk to this student, they have a great story," or do you seek out stories?
So I actually come up with every story all on my own. I create a Google Doc. In the beginning of the year, I created one, and I looked at Mrs. Magner's like I don't know what it's called, but she sends out every month or every couple weeks like an agenda, like of like updates in the school. And I'm like, okay, graduation. And then under June, I'm like, graduation article. And then from that, I just start thinking, and I'm like, okay, senioritis. That's one I just wrote right now. Ending of quarter 3, how are kids feeling? Like I just go talk to people. From graduation, I add that into a clue in my last page of the word search. Or advice from a senior to a freshman. I kind of just, I don't know, that's like a really fun creative part that I've found very fun to me, and it comes natural. So I come up with it all on my own. I lay it out like the first page, and then you open it and it's okay, second and third, but they're next to each other. So they should probably go together and blend together and be kind of similar articles. And then from there, I solidify it. And then I'm like, okay, I can write this article, this article, this article. I need to find writers for these. And then I reach out. So I do it all on my own.
Great. Do you plan on, so UConn has a Connecticut Daily Campus, the
Mhm.
CDC. Do you plan on continuing up there?
Yeah, I'm planning on majoring in communication and then minoring in Spanish and journalism. So, I mean, I just want to continue connecting with people, and I love Spanish, so that's another part of that could help me with that. But I actually just went to UConn Bound Day last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago, And I went to a lecture with the dean of liberal arts, I think, and then just walked around and saw like the little tables, and I talked to the one of the journalism teachers, and he said that a group of students actually got sent with the men and women's teams, UConn's teams, to
Mm.
like follow them and with their basketball team. So I don't know, that's my dream. Like being on the court or the field with players and interviewing people and talking to people. I don't know if it ever happened, but
Absolutely.
yeah, my favorite part about like writing or like section is sports journalism. So I'm planning on continuing there, and I feel like UConn's going to give me lots of opportunities and practice in college that I can use in my real life.
Great.
Yeah.
So good. Anything else? Well, Lexi, you did fantastic up here. So I think that your presentation is going to go really well.
Thank
and
you.
we're so glad that you came today. So thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
We did
Nice
put,
work.
Thank
put
you.
this up on the Board of Ed Bulletin board for the Board of Ed page, website page. And you do have your own website page that
Mhm.
I think you said that the librarian helped you create
Mhm.
your own website page as well.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're very excited for you.
Thank
And
you.
we're so excited. And you don't have any senioritis, right?
Not
at all.
really, not with the senior project. It keeps me in line.
You're so great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming. We're
Thank
so
you.
happy for you. And you'll let us know when your presentation is.
Mm-hmm.
Can you email me and I'll share it with the board?
Yeah,
That would be
definitely.
great. Thanks,
Okay.
Lexi.
Thank you
Well
so
done.
much.
Thank you. Awesome. So great. Thank you. Peyton, come join us. Come on up. Welcome.
How I'm supposed to follow that because I'm not as prepared as you are. My name is Hayden Fisher. I'm a senior in the ag program here at Chapag. And instead of doing a senior project, I decided to go with capstone. So uniquely, I kind of applied late. So I think that recently we have done a lot of work to get kids to understand what capstone is, but in past years it wasn't as advertised, so I wasn't exactly sure what it was until over the summer I had my SAE visit. So one thing you have to do over the summer is for your project, one of the ag teachers comes and just looks at what you're doing. And during my visit, my teacher, Mr. Belinsky, he said, well, this is a perfect project for a capstone. Why don't you just apply for that? And actually, very like right after that, I got the papers. I ran over here like during the summer. Mr. Cremines was here and he signed it. And so I turned my senior project into a capstone during the summer. And that really got it started for me. I decided to do my project so I have a job. I had a job for 2 summers over the bordering property right here, actually, these woods. I work at Linden Hill. And over there, I do a lot of different things. I do landscaping and I do gardening and beekeeping and taking care of the alpaca they have over there. So it's not exactly in line with my career, which is an equine vet, which is a lot of what my classes are geared towards here. But like taking care of alpaca was cool. But it was interesting because I wasn't usually a plant person. I'm not very good at keeping plants alive in my own house. So it was quite a learning opportunity. I learned how to prune. I learned how to take care of a garden, and it's quite a big property. So what I also do is I helped build trails in the woods. That was a very fun project. Actually, this past year, when we had a load of dirt come in to layer one of the new trails, we found a bunch of turtle eggs in the dirt. That was pretty fun. I think I'm like it was Claire Wheaton and Dylan George were 2 students that I worked with there over the summer. I was the only one that stayed for both years so far. And I think that if other students want to come work there, they would love it. They could always use help over there. Um, things that I've learned besides how to garden better, because I was not good at that before, was communication. Like I was not big on talking to people I don't know. And that is what I had to do a lot there. Worked for a guy that I basically never see. So I had to go talk to all the manager there and all the other people that work there. One of the guys, he doesn't really even speak much English. So I had to bring up some of my Spanish classes to talk to him, but he's very nice. I have built very good connections there. Like her name is Kyle. I believe she's kind of the manager, but also Josh is too. I'm not really sure which one of them is the manager. I'm pretty sure it's Josh though. But Kyle, I've built a very good relationship with her over the last 2 years. Actually, she this past year, she even texted me. She's like, "What dress should I wear to my daughter's wedding?" I was like, "I like this one." So I've definitely built some friendships there. If I need any sort of letter of recommendation, they would gladly give it to me. Josh has been very helpful with my state degree application and my other SAE applications that I have to do. So for capstone, because it's not senior project, I do have to do things that senior project people do have to do, like give presentations and get some hours done. So over the summer, you have to get at least 100 hours in before the school year. But something different is an application to national application for SAE competition. So there's a lot of different categories, and Mr. Belinsky told me that my SAE fit under one of those categories, which is why I was able to turn it into a capstone project. Yeah, so that whole process is during the school year, which is what I've been doing during class. It was quite a long process, but I finally got that in. And now I just have to work on my final presentation for the end of the year. What else haven't I talked about? Yes?
It's hard to like picture the scale of this operation without
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have like a whole like slideshow, but
it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could connect it, but there's quite a lot of pictures. Oh, really? I have my computer.
I've been there. It's pretty.
It's basically a farmer's market.
It's
Oh yeah, the cucamelons. We can pickle those.
Mm-hmm.
I do that too.
Yep.
There are, I think, 4 or 5 separate hives, but they're like 5 or 6 boxes tall. They're huge.
Mm-hmm.
Then the property itself is massive.
So,
You can't really picture this.
yeah.
It is a huge operation. And
Yes.
the vegetables that they produce are
Yes.
just to back
Yeah.
you up.
Thank you.
It is.
Yes, his property I think is 200 acres, including his wood trails, which we do maintain, and it's quite a lot of maintenance after storms, especially because there's a lot of sticks and stuff everywhere. Taking care. So he has a long driveway, and he has a lot of these like beautiful bark like wood chip beds with beautiful oak trees, and in the front he has a red salvia garden in the front of each of them. And just watering all of those plants by myself takes 4 hours. So it's quite a project because they're huge beds. You have to connect at least 5 hoses from one spigot, drag it up the hill, water, and then keep connecting, bring it up. Luckily this year, as opposed to last year, I was allowed to drive the golf cart everywhere. So that helped with bringing things around. But yeah, it is quite a big place. Every Thursday or Friday, depending on the weather, we will collect flowers from the cut flower garden down by the vegetable garden, and we will make arrangements for the weekends because what we do during the week is 8 hours a day. We maintain the property, make sure everything looks good, and then over the weekend is when the boss comes home and he has a nice place to stay. He goes to New York, so it's a nice place to come back to over the weekend. They do have a pool that we help maintain up there too. There's a lot of grasses that need cutting. The vibranium in the front by the stone wall needs to get trimmed a bunch too. And there's a lot of little projects that somehow pop up. So one thing that I had to tackle by myself this past year was like, it took me 3 hours to clear this one tree. And it's a little one by the barn, so we didn't really notice it as much, but there was like thorn bushes and these little like sucker plants, that's what we call them, around the base, and it was just quite a project. So every little corner of the property needs to get maintained and checked at least once a week, and especially the flowers and the vegetable garden, those have to get constantly checked and watered. We have this little thing called a moisture meter. It's like a little metal stick with a meter on the top, and when you stick it in the dirt, it tells you how much water is there. A lot of the plants, especially the fruit pots up by the house, need to get watered quite often because it gets so dry. What else? The alpaca and chickens. There are chickens there too that we take care of. We collect eggs every evening. I think our record is 14 in one day. Maybe more than that, but we always get quite a few eggs. They're very healthy chickens, and Liam loves his chickens. And the alpaca, they're very sweet. They're the best to take care of. I've actually gotten to participate in 2 of the vet visits, so I come watch them give the injections. Of course, they don't like that very much, but they're still very good about it.
Great.
What else? Talked about the trails. Oh, we did used to have quail. I forgot about that. It didn't last as long as we were hoping, but we did have quail eggs for a little while, and that was very fun.
Well,
is there anything I forgot to talk about? Okay. Is there
Thank
any
you
questions
so
about
much.
what I do?
Nice work, and it's good to see for both our students that you're so into it and you're finding
Yeah.
a path that I think will be portable and carry you forward.
Thank you so much. And
You
Kyle,
spin your own honey?
I help the guy who comes and works on them. We helped collect all the frames for him to make honey, and he also uses them to make beeswax and makes them into chapstick and other products. So we didn't personally spin it on the property, but we did help him go in and collect all those frames.
No.
Yes.
well, did you have a
Sorry,
question?
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Do you have a store where we could purchase the honey and these wonderful vegetables and fruits that
Definitely.
So
have
a
been
lot,
spoken about?
yeah. So a lot of the stuff that gets grown there is for the chef to make all the meals for
Yeah.
the guy there. But I think for at least the Bethlehem Fair, they did enter some stuff. The farmers market in the depot, they might have some things there, but I would have to ask Mr. Rubler what they do with all the honey. I think they have a ton of
Yeah.
honey
Mhm.
in the little like house they have at the end of the property where we do all the like jarring of the beans and stuff. Oh yeah, one big part of what we do is harvesting all of these things that we grow. That takes a very long time. And one of the fields that they have with a boardwalk through it, we have to set up Japanese beetle bags, and that is not very fun. But they have to get switched out like pretty much daily because there are so many beetles. And we also maintain the pond that's up by the house. So we get in these big waders and we go in and we trim all of the cattails. There's a lot of like sections with different plants around the
Yeah.
pond. So there's like a flower garden right there that also has to get watered with the red salvia. That takes up a lot of
Mhm.
time too. It's blue salvia though, so it's much prettier.
It's
my
quite the
opinion.
property for sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. And Josh and Kyle are pretty wonderful people, and
They're so
Kyle's
nice.
hysterical. So thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
And if I were to live there, I would live in the treehouse because that's my
Yes, the
favorite place.
treehouse is
Yeah, for sure.
beautiful.
It's really great.
Crazy.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of
Really,
course.
thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I look forward to
It's
your senior
amazing.
project.
Yes, please
Yes,
let us know when your senior
Hey.
project is as well. So I'll let the board know as well, and we'll come and watch. So thank you. I appreciate it. Great, I love it. Superintendent's report.
Just one quick announcement. This Thursday, the World Affairs Forum is going to be returning to Chippewa in its latest incarnation. And the biggest part of that is really finding an exciting keynote speaker, which the folks at Chippewa and Mike Croft managed to do. So on April 9th, Thursday at 9:30 in the group room East, I think, we're going to have a panel of Chippewa students, who researched this topic and are going to present on it, but also Ms. Carolyn Rees, who I think lives locally and has been connected with the United Nations, had a pretty eminent career in the topic that she's going to discuss. She is the president and co-founder of something called the SHIFT Project, which is a leading nonprofit center of expertise on the UN guiding principles on business and human rights. So this is going to be a student panel, students who have been researching this topic with their teachers and in the humanities department, where they're going to be discussing the intersection between human rights, international human rights, and business practices. It'll be a nice thing. There's been a long-standing history of the World Affairs Forum here in the region, and it's starting to get back to its former luster. So certainly the board's welcome to visit that event Thursday, April 9th, 9:30 a.m. That's my announcement.
Great, thank you. Treasurer's report, Alex.
I have no report.
Right. Committee reports, Agri-Science, Mary?
Tyler said it all, but I just want to remind everybody that the plant sale for Agri-Science is May 9th from 10 to 2.
Okay.
And also on May 2nd, they're having the farm to table dinner to support the Agri-Science program and the students. And that's on May 2nd. And you can purchase tickets through the Parents, Friends, and FFA alumni site.
Great, thank you, Mary. Curriculum, Justin?
So we just had our meeting earlier this evening, and we began a discussion on the math pathways, trying to figure out, well, what is the best way to sequence the math classes in 8 through 12 in order to make sure that our students are set up to be as successful as possible. And this is certainly something that we foresee, an ongoing conversation for the next few meetings. So we'll have more to report back next time.
Great, thank you. At Advance, Joe?
We had a brief Board of Directors meeting on April 2nd, which had discussions of the officer appointments and an overview of the process to evaluate our executive director. Both of these items we will be handling in our annual in-person budget approval meeting for the 26-27 year, which is to be held in May. So it was just a brief meeting and an overview of what our meeting in May, our in-person meeting in May is. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Joe. Finance and Operations, Alex?
Yes, we have not had a meeting since our last meeting. We had it on March 2nd. Our next scheduled meeting is not until May. So I'm thinking that Nicole suggested that we have another meeting maybe sometime in April. And we will send out a invitation to the committee to see what dates are available and would work.
Okay, thank you. Policy, Justin? Oh, I'm sorry, labor negotiations, Vicky.
Nothing new to report.
Policy, Justin.
Nothing new. Our next meeting is April 27th.
Thank you. And nothing to report for long-range planning. New business. To consider and if appropriate, approve a trip request to the FFA National Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana.
So this is one of our most famous events, but we always have an expert
Megan
come and talk about
Berry.
it. So the board knows everything that's going on. So here we see Ms. Berry, who's
Yes.
going to talk to us about our signature ag trip event.
And I'm thrilled that you're here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. I don't have a formal presentation. I just wanted to be on hand in case y'all had any questions. Our national convention trip continues to evolve. We started out with 6 kids my first year in 2021. And now we are hoping to take between 35 and 40 this coming year. We are still waiting for some CD competitions to occur later this spring at UConn. We did also just have a student place first in the district for extemporaneous public speaking, and he will be going on to states here in May as well. So fingers crossed, he's very excited and we're very hopeful for him. It'd be really cool to see him compete on the national stage. So we're looking forward to taking a great group of kids with 4 adults, and I'm here to help answer any questions about the trip.
Are the kids required to pay part of the trip?
Yeah, great question. We are lucky to have the district support to help offset the cost of the trip, but there is a student family cost to it. We try to offer multiple fundraising opportunities so they can choose to meet that cost in other ways than besides just out of pocket through the family.
What is the cost per student?
At this time, we're looking at about $300 per student. We also do have a scholarship opportunity available through our Parents, Friends, and FFA Alumni Association as well, where that will take care of that cost too. if the student
Okay.
needs it.
Does it feel like some kids aren't going to be able to go because of the $300?
At this point, we haven't run into that situation, but we are very lucky that our alumni has an angel fund where if we were aware of a student or a family came to us and said this is cost prohibitive, we can help make that go away to make sure we can meet the needs of the student. We don't
Good.
want that to be a limiting factor.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Obviously, you're going to go.
Thank you.
Are you going?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a great way to see what's going on and stay relevant.
Yeah. Your students are so lucky to have you.
I'm
And
lucky
we're
to have
so
them.
lucky to have you.
Thank you. I'm very lucky to have this
Very
place.
lucky to have you.
It's a wonderful place to be, honestly.
Yes. You're an amazing teacher.
Thank you.
So
That's very
thank
kind
you.
of you.
Thank you for all that you do.
Yes.
Thank you.
You go above and beyond.
Yes.
Thank you
Yep.
so much.
You're
Very, very
incredible.
kind of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So great.
And everybody knows that was it last year?
Yeah.
She left an infant at home. How old?
At that point, she was 2 months.
An infant at home. So you could give the time and the energy to your students. And for that, we are so grateful. Thank you.
So grateful.
Thank you so much.
It really is a wonderful place to be here. We have a really fantastic group of kids and a great staff. We're very
Thank you.
lucky.
You're so great. Thank you, Megan. So do we have to make a motion? Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
course.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone approve? I mean, anyone
No.
opposed? Thank you. I'm in, thank you.
She
I'm
sounds
in
like
like
I
La La
feel.
Land at the moment.
Um,
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you so
thanks for
much.
making it happen for our school and our kids, Megan. It's
Appreciate it.
appreciated, as the board just said. Thank you.
Yes. Great.
Thank you. We really
Thank you.
appreciate your support.
We appreciate you. Moving on to consider and if appropriate to approve revisions to the board's meeting schedule for 26-27.
Yeah, this is a relatively simple one. The version that we approved last time had a typo in it. It had the budget hearing occurring before the budget workshops, which is just out of order. So if you look at the March sequence now on the corrected version, hoping there's no snow next year to cause any problems, in the March sequence, that's now corrected. The budget workshops come before the district budget hearing, which is appropriate. So we just ask that someone make a motion to approve that amendment.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Abstentions?
When do the committee schedules arrive, or who's in charge of that?
I think that happens after July 1st.
Oh, thank you.
So moving on, obviously that was just approved to consider and if appropriate, approve modifying the school calendar to address the excessive snow days.
Excessive snow days. And as I forecasted in my most recent update, after caucusing after discussing with our bargaining units.
We've all agreed that Dr. Shells loves the word caucus.
And
So I'm going
I
to
don't
buy
wanna-
him a t-shirt.
I don't want to
that
overuse
says,
a
"Let's
word.
Caucus.
Yeah, like I have to be aware of my audience, and caucus is not the right word.
So I
around-
like to tease him about using the word caucus.
After deep discussion with our bargaining units and the SVEA included, and just, the folks that would be part of this, the recommendation that I want to put in front of the board is what I said in my latest update, that we would forgive 2 days, run school on June 19th, which we would have otherwise been closed as a half day with programming to respect the history of Juneteenth so that our students get that experience as long as they're here. That would allow us to end the year that week instead of going into the later part of June, the latter part of June. And it protects some instructional time, but gets us out in a way that's mostly reasonable given what we've been through. So my recommendation would be to ask the board to support that proposal.
Does anyone have any, so we make a motion first and then we can discuss. Can I have a motion to have the last day of school be for June 19th, 2026? Can I have a second? Is there any discussion? Questions? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Abstentions? Last day of school, June 19th, 2026.
I have a quick question. Are we going to make any, do we make any adjustments on the calendar for possibly more snow days than we have allotted this year?
You mean for the calendar next year?
Yeah.
You know, it's a rational
I meant
question.
this year.
I find that whenever people go through Snowmageddon like we went through this year, it's only natural that they want to right away shore up the next year's calendar. And which is not a crazy reaction. It's a rational reaction, but most times, you know, you don't face that cataclysm again over and over. And it's best to sort of, in the years that I've been in this business, the calendar, like the one we've adopted, will serve us in good stead.
So the answer is no.
Yeah, I think that we've got a good system in place. This year brought it, maxed it out and stressed it out. But overall, we've got a good system that goes over the state minimum. We almost always deliver that, which is good for our kids, good for the system. And we start early and we get out early, and it's a pretty good pace. And I think we shouldn't mess with it right now.
Don?
Yes.
The last time we had Snowmageddon was when my kids were in school. And that's how we came to start school in August instead of September. So it's already been adjusted for Snowmageddon days.
Yeah, folks, boards, when they have a year like this, they do things like start earlier in August, or they take away what might have been a February break that some districts have. And that's how they get to the place that we're at, which I think is mostly, again, serves us well. Some folks feel, especially if you're from Jersey like you and I, Mary, right? You might think, what, school starts before Labor Day? But
Oh, we never did that there.
Yeah.
And they still don't, by the way.
yeah, they don't there. But here it's not uncommon. And I think when you're getting out in the second week of June, which is mostly what happens, most people are happy that you started a little early. So.
Okay. Moving on to consider for approval the contract with the Board of Education of the town of Sherman commencing 2027 through 2030.
Yeah, so we had an opportunity, Nicole and I, with also the presence and guidance from Jen, which we appreciated because we know how busy you are, had a chance to meet with board members and the superintendent from Sherman to talk about how we'd move forward with our arrangement with them, their tuition in, and what the increase would be. After several meetings and some discussion and some negotiation, which was not cutthroat, we were able to reach what we think is a reasonable adaptation of the tuition rate that reflects our rising costs and keeps us in parity with the other venues where Sherman kids might attend, which I think is New Milford and New Fairfield. And Nicole, would you want to speak to the nuts and bolts of the contract?
Sure. So we really didn't change anything. The contract that is in the board packet is redlined, so you can see the changes we made. We obviously made changes to the dates. We made changes to the tuition, and year over year, it's a 3% increase in each of the 3 years that the contract is for. We did look at New Fairfield's rates and New Milford's rates. We are in line with them. We're a little bit lower, but they actually also provide transportation. We don't, because their kids come in on the exercise bus. So that's a cost that New Fairfield and New Milford have that we don't have, which is why our tuition is a little bit lower per student. The thing I think that one thing that Don and I discussed, and we discussed with Dr. Cosentino, is that the number of kids that we're getting from Sherman is falling off pretty drastically. So where we used to have about 40 to 45 kids at any given year, the existing sophomore class is 3 kids and the existing freshman class is 4 kids.
So one of the issues, we tried to sort of delve into why that's happening. And it sounds like a few of the issues are, one, it fell off the year that New Fairfield opened its brand new high school. So more kids shifted there. We do have a couple of kids in the agri-science program. So that 3 and 4 doesn't include the kids that are in agri-science. They come in through the agri-science tuition schedule. And it's a much longer bus ride for the kids to get to us than it is New Fairfield and New Milford. And that's definitely been a deterrent, and there's not really any way we can fix that. So we're looking at ways to try to work with Sherman to recruit more Sherman kids, but right now our numbers are low.
What is the rate as of this year? What are we charging per student?
So the 26, 27 year is 16,289 per student.
16,000, okay.
And then they also pay, if any of the students that we have get any type of extra services, there's a schedule for extra services where they pay additional.
Thank you.
Somebody else have a question? I thought anybody else have any other questions? Anyone else have any questions? No one? Okay. I know. So I just didn't know. I didn't know if she was doing something. So can I have a motion to consider for approval, the amount? Do we need a motion? So can I have a motion? Okay. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Abstentions? It passes. Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn? A second? All in favor? Well, I guess we're all really ready for the UConn game. Okay.